So one of the probably most bipartisan issues you could ever imagine is the next story we're about to discuss. This cuts across all party lines, all age groups, most demographics. This is the uniter of this country. This is what will lead us into a bright future, or perhaps a less bright future. Shelby?
That's right, Roman. We're talking about headlights that are too dang bright.
Too bright.
Too bright.
I've seen them.
You can't unsee them once you do.
I wasn't able to see for long.
Okay, so here's what's going on. A congresswoman named Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez recently spoke to the Congressional Transportation Committee about doing something about this.
An issue that draws the ire of thousands of Americans. If you spend any time on certain subreddits, some of which have thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers, you will know about overly bright headlights. This is something that draws ire from rural Americans, from older Americans, from law enforcement. I understand the bipartisan infrastructure law tried to improve this issue by allowing manufacturers to make adaptive driving beams, but let's be honest, it has not helped. I'm interested in working with the committee to ensure that the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration develop overall maximum brightness on the lumens, standardizing headlights for automobiles that retain visibility for drivers, but also reduce glare and increase safety for other drivers on the road.
And exactly the way you said it, this is a bipartisan issue. It's something that can legitimately make life better for everybody.
Well, what's the issue? What's the issue?
The issue is that lumens, meaning the light that is put out from modern LED headlights on cars, is just out of control. And it has been for a while.
Why did I think it was only me?
That's actually the kind of funny human experience.
It's funny because
thing.
I keep thinking people have their brights on.
Right,
It's just
like,
the way their
what?
lights are. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It has a lot to do with some vehicles also being mounted higher, right? So the headlights are actually physically higher, and then they're looking down at a car that's a little bit lower to the ground. So that involves like some issues of like angling the actual headlight properly, which lots of people don't do. But beyond that, the actual lights themselves are getting way brighter.
Yeah, for sure they have, right?
Yeah, and
I thought I had to like tint my mirror or something. Like that seemed to be the issue for me because when the light enters the back there, it's going right into you. That can't be
Did
healthy.
you think it was just you too? Like,
No, I did,
honest to
I
goodness,
did.
I'm like, okay, my eyes are getting worse. This is getting worse.
I did.
it's been going on for a long time,
But it
though.
can't have
This
good
isn't
health
like a new
effects on
thing.
people.
Wait, so this is like a gradual increase in the brightness of lights?
It's not so gradual. Yeah, that's the kind of scary thing about it. So, you look back to the 90s, the headlights that we were using predominantly then, those were off-putting about 1,000 lumens, right? So that's your baseline. Now, LEDs off-put about 4,000 lumens. So they're 4 times brighter, and it gets worse. The off-market ones, the ones that you're not supposed to
Those
have, but
Yahoos
that
on the
may
road
get, exactly. Those go up to 12,000 lumens. To put that in perspective, the flashlights that they recommend people use to like deter home invaders if they need to like stun someone, those are 10,000 lumens.
They call it hippie mace.
Pretty much.
Well, yeah, it's like for sure. When you're driving, sometimes you're like the oncoming car blinds you 100%.
Yeah, and this amount of light can cause permanent blindness.
I was looking at, they
it's a
call
real
it
risk.
disability glare.
Wait,
There's actually a name
thing
for it.
then.
It's a thing.
It's
It's a
not.
thing.
It's not in my head.
No,
It's real.
not in
You know
our
what was
head.
funny? Like, as I'm driving around and I'm noticing it, I just think to myself, like, wow, this is one of those things, like, I'm a very small government type of guy. This is one of those things that the government has to fix because the free market can't fix it. Everybody wants those lights because they're better subjectively for the person in the car, but they're worse for the receiving end of the other person out of the car.
Everybody else on the road. Yeah, it's like driving with your brights on. You're just keeping your brights on, basically.
Okay. So what's the proposed solution here?
Well, the proposed solution, so let's back up a second. There are quite a few foundations and other forces that are trying to move this forward, right? It's not just the Congresswoman, although fully, in my personal opinion, support that effort. So one main foundation that's trying to do something about this is called the Soft Lights Foundation. They have a petition on change.org. They have like 70,000 signatures. It's like, this has been going on for a while, several years. I believe that's 2021, if I'm not mistaken. So the goal for a lot of them is to just get these LEDs completely banned, like from car headlights entirely. Is that realistic? Probably not. So the goal
back
is
to
to
halogens?
just dial it back a bit. Yeah, like get something that's a little bit more reasonable.
The only part I'd see is like enforcement, because Is it gonna be like they have to like measure the lumens on your headlights or something? How do they check it?
Well,
you
it'll be
know?
the
And
manufacturers,
let's say they're
right?
manufactured already. You have a car on the road. It's very expensive to replace your headlights as well.
Shouldn't have done it in the first place.
Well, the police will just have to go around and put some kind of like sticky material on the front of your car to tint it manually. I mean, it would probably be moving forward, though, right?
So here's the thing. This is actually a very kind of unique America-centric problem right now because other countries have adopted a different kind of headlight technology. They're basically smart headlights, right? So what they do is it's more than just some of the cars, for instance, that we have now. The lights will actually turn on and off based on sensors that can detect light in your general area, right?
Completely off or like lower?
They lower the
Okay.
brightness a bit, right? So if there's an oncoming car, you're driving on a dark road, and then someone comes on the other direction, it, automatically will dim down a little bit, right? That's what we have now.
Other countries are
But-
so considerate of each other.
That's, wait. This is what we have, right? This is our
Okay,
cars.
okay.
Other countries have smart headlights that actually shape the individual pattern of the light using these, basically the pixels of the technology of the lights that off-put inside the headlamp, right? They change so that then there are pockets of dark that track oncoming cars. So basically, the light that goes directly into the eyes of the oncoming driver isn't there.
Which country? Bangladesh? Or?
Yeah,
You
right?
see this across Europe, you see it in the UK, it's also in Asia, it's pretty widespread. The reason we don't have this is because good old 1967 legislation basically requires all headlights in the US to have two lights, standard beams and high beams. And because this light it's on a sliding scale, it can, brighten and dim, right? That's why. So it doesn't conform to that regulation.
Interesting. And so what's been the change in the last 10 years? It was just technology has gotten better? Because I assumed that there was some kind of standard that a lot of manufacturers were skirting or going way beyond in the last few years because it's gotten so crazy bright. I assume that they were breaking the law, but since nobody is doing anything about it, I guess that's there's no standard that says you can't have your standard light, not the high bright, but the standard light beyond, I don't know, 5,000 lumens or something.
There is a limit.
Oh, there is a limit.
But like I said, these off-market things, it's very hard to detect if someone. The rule technically is that the lights that your car comes pre-made with, those have to stay, right? So if your car is manufactured with headlights that are 4,000 lumens, then you can have 4,000 lumen headlights. The trouble comes in when the off-market brands get used and they get put into car models that don't actually support that level of brightness.
Is this mostly Honda Civics?
Do they have any connection to muffler volume?
Begs the question.
Okay, so what's the proposed, you said this lawmaker, from which state?
Washington.
Washington. So she has a new bill. So what's the proposed solution in that bill?
It's not actually a bill. As far as I understand it, she's just basically presented this idea and she's trying to get momentum behind it, to follow up the work done by these foundations and these other sources. I mean, here's the thing. This issue really does have a lot of ground. It's a lot more than just an annoyance, you know what I mean? This is a little bit more of a grim note, but, since 2015, we've seen the number of traffic accidents and, fatal collisions, right, go up. It hovers around the 35,000 mark for the year. Skip forward to 2020, now that number hovers around 40,000. So it's going up. And the same trend follows with pedestrian casualties too. That number up from 2010 to 2023 is up 77%. So we're seeing a lot more issues related to this. And it has a lot to do with the actual light that's coming out of these headlights. It's not just the brightness, it's also that these headlights are blue light, right? So this conversation tends to come up when you're talking about computer screens and too much phone time, whatever, right? But that
they
light,
ruin your sleep schedule.
they ruin your sleep schedule, and your eyes actually can't process them properly. Wow. The light does not allow your retina to focus correctly, and it scatters inside your eye. So it basically, if you know Las Vegas syndrome, where there's so many flashy lights everywhere, your eyes don't know where to focus, and you get distracted. The same exact thing happens with these headlights.
I was reading a study that talks about, so it takes your eyes time to adjust after you see the bright light. And a AAA study in 2019, I think it was, said that with the bright lights, it can take 10 seconds for your eyes to readjust. So imagine you're, bombing down the highway. 10 seconds is forever, in terms of an accident. And it gets worse the older you get. Takes your eyes longer.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm a crisp 35, and I hate driving at night nowadays just because of that. You really, sometimes you're driving and you get hit with this bright light, and then there's like another light. Every light has an orb around it. Yeah, the ferries going down the street. I mean, everyone's experienced that, right? Okay, right, Josh?
Oh yeah, every night, yeah.
The fairies start talking to you, and you're like, what is going on? Am I even in this realm anymore? Anyway, I don't know if that bill can solve that problem.
Another problem.
Right.
Not a bill yet.
Right. Okay, so you're saying, I thought this was a bill, so this is not even like to that level yet.
Not yet.
Yikes. This is, I thought there was a real solution coming down the pike. Okay.
Is there a resistance?
I can't imagine there would be a resistance
There
to
has
this.
to be from the people who are producing these lights.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe the companies that are making them.
I can picture the
paid
guy.
for by Big Light.
I can picture the guy in my head, like the guy who probably manufactures.
Not to be confused with the light at the end of the tunnel.
I think all those super high beams are made in China and they're sent over here just to blind our drivers.
This is the real conspiracy.
It's kind of like terrorism sometimes. No, truly. When you're driving, sometimes you'll just get somebody who has something wrong with them, and it's always a big truck with these LEDs in the back, and they'll just drive with their headlights. You can switch lanes or whatever, but they just keep them blasting. So
It's totally true.
if she can introduce legislation right here and fix this, she'll stay for years.
I mean, this is like a universally understood thing, right? We've all experienced it here. And then you go on, there are subreddits about this entirely dedicated to your headlights are too bright, right? Then you read some of these testimonials on, for instance, that change.org petition that I mentioned from the Soft Light Foundation. Like, these people are not describing this as an annoyance. They're describing it as like, I'm terrified to go drive at night because I'm going to get in an accident. Or I almost got in an accident already. You know what I mean?
Right, so people have
get
to
migraines,
share
like,
this episode and drive
there we
forward
go.
her
That's the
initiative.
bright but not too bright side. How's that?
Okay, any last thoughts, Shelby?
Like I said, a bright solution, yes, but not too bright of a solution. Sounds good to me.
All right, there you have it. If this Congresswoman, what was her name again?
Marie Perez.
Miss
from
Marie
Washington.
Perez, if you are watching this, we fully support you.
Yeah, Godspeed on this.
Yeah, for sure. If you want me to shill for this thing, I will shill for it all the way until it's through the door. Listen, what's more bipartisan than this? You can hardly get anyone to unite on anything in Congress, but I think this, all constituents are for it. So good luck. Good luck to us all, and see you later. All right, I know exactly what you're thinking. That was a great clip you just watched. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to follow and also check out either these videos or maybe they're on this side. I don't know which side they're on, but we set it up. So these are the videos that YouTube is suggesting to you as the best ones that you'll probably like the most. So check them out, this side, and until next time.